You, this is Point Black, coming in hard and off the guard, coming with the flow straight from the barrio, and coming with the heat from the damn street. This is PBNN Point Black, national news, the late and the great edition and the ghetto edition, as well, with the facts to crack backs and the boom beat to the line ass lips. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we must do. Now, before we begin, you know what I'm saying? I have to drop a little vibe. And it needs to be said. Because I notice in the community of YouTube, they're constantly blocking my videos once again and censoring it. You see. So that tells me who's in control of their dumb ass. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, by the community and telling me that the community, too many community strikes, tells me that the community and the people of this world wants to live in a lie, talking about too many community strikes. Yeah, it's more like too many reality strikes is what seems to be the problem, isn't it? To where the fact that you will strike my videos out of everyone else shows that you know what that shows me? I got you. That's what that tells me. Every time you do that community strike shit, I got you. So whether you kick me off or not, I have won. And that's the point. Because you know full well there is no way that we should be living a lie. And this is what has happened to the American people and many people in our community. They want to live a slavish, blood sucking, deep state piece of garbage life and want us to engage in that lie based on their so called religion. So the theory still reigns supreme, and that is the double R theory. Religion, the double R theory, religion, racism. And we got a whole bunch of dumb ass motherfucking people in our community that wants to live this lie and wants everyone else to live that lie as well. So when I hit them with the facts to crack backs, and the general do as well, you see what I'm saying? You decides to strike our voice because you know full well that the occupational people that occupying that African land has caused more death and destruction on African people as a whole, even prior to what we're seeing with the Palestinians. And you remove them from from Egypt and the plateau, and you send the Arabs out to murder them off as well as you. And now the Palestinians are feeling the same pressure, and America is backing them up all the way. Where is the truth in the matter of the facts? While you sit up and strike my channel when any dumb motherfucker this side of motherfucking Mexico, a retarded son of a bitch. I don't give a damn because you're out your mind. You probably was born with a birth defect. You just grown up, and you're in our community. You know what I'm saying? Where they came from the drug era, done by the government systematically, where they come from your parents being on drugs in the systematic vibe of it, and then having a child, and your crazy ass is now grown. Along with your parents, may still be here. But you want us to live a lie. And that is the problem. There is no way that we can justify what we're seeing going on in Gaza, in Egypt, and not see the historical facts that came to this point. There is no way you're going to wash away the truth just so you can be defended by others in your destructional path and your invasion and occupation and the removing of African people, probably even using the Arabs to help you do that, sold them people into slavery and brought them here to America. Let's get that straight first. Because you have been accused of the transatlantic slave trade and you funded it. And now you want the world to feel sorry for you while you persecute and destroy the infrastructure of the Palestinian people, such as their hospitals, no water, no food, no none of this shit. We're talking about, you know what I'm saying, equality and humanitarian. When you're cutting off even the humanitarian aid, you're sending warships, which the Palestinian people don't have. And you're sending warships, your mighty American warships, to that region to defend the line. The gall of you mothers. And you have done this to the African people over and over again, and still doing it today. And you got these sellout ass mother niggers talking about the Muslim and Christians. No, you're a sellout, a follow fashion dummy. Period. Because if you cannot face the truth and the realisticness of the truth in the facts that is given to you, we know full well something is wrong with your brain. Because there is no way to justify what is going on. For 75 years, prior to that, you did it to the Africans and continue to do it to this day, and occupying places in Africa, the Arabs, and your ass. You know who I'm talking about. And occupying Egypt, which belongs to black people, which belong to the ancestors of my people and me itself. And you want us to justify that in itself. That it's all right for you to do the garbage. You know the millions of people are being killed in Africa every fucking day? While you busy away talking about some woke and bullshit? And then going over to Africa to bribe them up with money to bring that piece of shit into Africa, talking about some woke. And then talking about striking, the community striking. I have too many communities striking. No, we have too many community reality check on your ass of the truth. Strike! And you can't deal with it because you want to live in the lie. You want the lie to be a fact. You want to be superior. You want this, you want that. But the world must now come to an understanding that this has to change. There is no way you're going to make us live a lie while you destroy our planet in which we live on. And every motherfucker that's striking my comments and my fucking videos on YouTube is you are facilitating and you are a part and you are supporting the destruction of the United States. And Africa as a whole. Let's just be honest. Because you haven't shown me one good facts that you have shown to the world scientifically, in many ways, you know what I'm saying, historically, in many ways, geographically, in many ways, and the truth of the matter of it all. You have had Egyptologists and all kinds of funky fine fuckers explaining black history to black people when you are white. So you could strike what you want because we know you're full of shit. And I'm not talking to the white people who bring the true facts about Egypt, Africa, and what is going on and what has transpired prior. And the black people as well who speak the truth. You have my full support in all ways. And be expecting that the beast is going to come down on you from time to time. And even strike your community. You could strike it all you want. But it just tells me it's a strike of reality to your ass. Because why would you respond? If the truth was not the truth. If what was said doesn't have facts to back it up. If the truth does not have any of that, then, and to you, in your mind, then why is it you are so interested in striking my channel? And this could be some dumbass little retarded ass bumphead fucking redhead kid or young teenager or anybody doing this bullshit. And you're listening to them and you striking my shit. You garbage. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? People have enough problems out here in this world today to sit here and just be a part of some fucking lie that keeps on facilitating the garbage across the planet. Now, the question remains, what right does those people have calling themselves is ready to be there or to invade there? What right do they have? Name one right that they have. And don't tell me nothing about no scriptural Bible, no orthodox, and none of that bullshit. You are lying, and you know it. You're not a kid. That's why you're striking my channel. You dig? You're not a kid, but you're an emotional adult idiot acting like one, is what we see. So my question is to be made, what right does they have to be there? You wrote a book to be able to facilitate that into the minds of to push it into the minds of the people to believe that what you're saying is true. And being that the fact that you figure you have black people as slaves in Burmas, all in Africa and everywhere else, that they'll believe that shit that you are spitting out your mouth so you can have a right. And guess what? You even went as far as not just writing that book, but to go into Africa to validate your book. Now, when we look at when you went into Africa or even use Africa as any type of validation, you are a Caucasian. So we know that that's not right. This has nothing to do with racism or where you come from. This has to do with you using Africa after you're in there destroying, killing, murdering, and still doing to this day. But you're saying that that's the Holy Land. And you're using that to do the shit that you're doing. So if you're talking about equality, righteousness, and all these different things, why is it that your God permits the death-defying killing of and murdering and pedophilia and all types of shit of people? How many people actually read the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran? You tell me. You see? So you wrote these books in order to give, and then you went into Africa and then took over a spot over there to give you the validation to say you have the right to be there. That's all you did. And that's why you're mad. Because you are not us. And you never will be. You know what I'm saying? And how we know that? Look at the garbage you're doing in Africa. Same go for the Arab. Boy, Look at the bullshit you're doing in Africa. You're not from there. You never was and you never will be. You're an invader. Same as we see the Arabians over there with sitting on top of the oil. You are white boys. Let's just be honest with you. Talking about you this and you that, and you speaking Hebrew and all kinds of different stuff. And when we look into the facts of the matter, none of it has any ground to stand on. How can a white person say they're from Egypt? How can a white person even move into that plateau and say that's the Holy Land and God told them the hundred and this and that of it coming out of they coming out of Egypt and going into the land of milk and honey and Joshua led them there and all these different stories? You're lying. You're lying. And the book is lying. Because you wrote the book. That's why it has a copyright and a publishing date. That book that you're reading, you call in the Holy Bible, these different Bibles, are not old. To me, they're no more than a 20th century lie. to make the people believe in something that's not true. That's like me, for example, that's like me going into Europe, right? And once I get into Europe or some part of the country, which we know Africans been there before, all of them, throughout Europe, all the way to the Siberia, Caucasus Mountains, and all that, we was in control. But now that it is populated with this and that and the third, and much of the white rule is there, that's like me going over there, picking a spot, right? Taking it over, and then saying to the people who live there, you got to get the fuck out, or you don't belong here. Because this is my holy land that I choose to take in a strategical position based on me wanting to go there and say that's the holy land. But just saying that is not what it is. I'm trying to get a strategical position in that land and that region to be a launching pad for garbage. And then America and our elected officials that you elected is sending over weapons and all types of shit, even to Ukraine and the Gaza Strip, against the Gaza and Palestinian people, and against Russia. So you tell me who's lying and who channel and who voices really needs to be striked. You dumb motherfucker. I can't believe that people will live a lie as if it's reality and murdering babies, mothers, and grandmothers and children all the way through for all these years and continue down this road completely unabated. But over here in America, you feeding them lies and bullshit, and they're supporting your shit and the lies. Not just with Gaza only. Even when we look at Sudan, Ethiopia, and many places in Africa, you know what I'm saying, of the reality of life and everything as a whole, you have destroyed, you have conscrupulated, you have misguided, you have lied to your teeth in order to make you me. Now, what kind of garbage is that? And I'm still asking the question, who as a Caucasian have the right to invade that land and take it over, and causing a war and destruction on a people, no matter even if they invaded, because they did as well. Palestinians, the Africans were there before you as well, but you were there before Israel. So, what we see going on must cease and settle. It must stop. Because in the actuality of the reality, we could actually say none of y'all belong there. You're invaders. Now stop the fighting and let's get back to life. Stop the murdering, stop the killing, stop the enslavement, and stop enslaving our people to dig up shit off the ground and the mines for you. Where are the African peoples and where's your strength? I hope that you are not getting your weapons and strength from somewhere else and then going to facilitate the same garbage that we have seen, and to the point where you can't even get a change to come, but you only bring war to the land. We should not still be talking about many of these things that are going on, and many of these things that are going on should not be going on. And can't you see that? Same thing we saw here with the pandemic and COVID-19. The idiocy at its highest level will make you say something like this. And this does not go out to all, because we know many are wise. But that's The dumbest set of people I've ever seen in my life. And I didn't realize how many dumb people in America there really is, who are living a complete lie. Completely. They're not living reality, they are living a lie. So this is why you continue to talk about too many community strikes. Because you don't want to face the facts. Neither do you want to look at the facts, even historically. Because nothing didn't happen the other day. Anytime we could say that this invasion and occupation in the Gaza Strip has been going on for 75 years. You know how many people have dead and gone in 75 years? Just from old age alone? But you continue down the road. So that tells me that there's a mental problem in the United States that needs to be solved. There's a birth defect that has been systematically induced to where you can't see the truth in the matter. Now, in all of that, we still have to look at while people paying attention to all of that, they're still doing that shit to the African people in Africa. But over here in America, talking about equality, this is the demon Democrat favorite psychological reverse psychology word. Oh, we care about you and equality and all this bullshit. Because all the words that they're telling you with equality and all that bullshit is only based on a psychological reverse psychology to make you see them in good light. But in reality, the destruction, the enslavement, the killing, the murder, and all types of shit that go on across Africa, especially, continues to go on. You are a facilitator of the destruction of the global aspect of creation in itself. Because you hate the fact of who you are. And you hate the fact of who I am. You see? I'm an original man. Even if there's Kunaria, my original man took over that shit. And I'm blacker than black. You dig? That's why they call me Point Black. I don't play that. And you need to grow up. Because what we see going on the planet today, in all aspects, Sudan, Ethiopia, the Congo, every time we look over in Africa, it's a civil war or killing or murdering and rape. You vulgar ass. You're vulgar. I don't give a damn what you see. You're a vulgar, nasty piece of something. And you continue to do this in Africa just about probably every day. For the last, how many, 400, 500 years? And how many of you niggas are supporting this bullshit? How many of you black people are supporting this lie and this garbage? It's a question I really want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because at any time, as a white person, you could feel ashamed of the things that your people do. But I got news for you. Black people in itself as well, we're going to equalize it as it is, make you ashamed to even think that you are part of their black ass or anything to do with blackness in itself. And they only come to you when the pressure's on their neck. And the system and the government of them is coming down on their neck. Then they want to agree with everything you got to say, white and black. Oh yeah, they're doing about it. But before that, you wasn't saying that. And when somebody said something, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, the conspiracy theory, and you let them drive the narrative based on the conspiracy theory and facilitating disinformation, misinformation, A, systematic, B, systematic bullshit, and in fact, to the killer reason, and Bill Goat Gates, the dumbass, jackass, goat ass Gates, Baphomet worshiper, deep state motherfucker. And you're not looking at anything else. I got enough to walk around here in my face as if you some special motherfucker. I'm talking about niggas as well. With your head up and shit and looking at a nigga all, looking at a black man all screwed up and like you with your special black group and shit. You want to be a part of your shit. But you need to come down off your high motherfucking horse. And that goes for all of y'all in your religious aspects. You are living a lie. And I'm not going to be a part of it. No way, no how. Because I don't follow. Well, I don't have that's not in my head. No religious shit. And I've read your books. And it's garbage to me. I threw them in the garbage. I threw those books in the garbage, to be honest with you. I just wanted to read it to, see what was in it. But I threw them away. I don't need them. Need them for what? It's not speaking reality in itself. It's not speaking the truth in itself. It's not doing anything except manipulating the minds of the people into believing a lie and bullshit. The double R theory. Religion, racism. Because who sanctioned slavery? Hmm? Who was the ones who sanctioned slavery? Who was the one that created the Narcia documents? Of heresy and all this different stuff. Who's the one that invaded continuously into Africa and murdering the people? What you think? Napoleon and them clown ass motherfuckers like Columbus and all these different, cracker ass dummies. Not the good white people, and the ones with sense, and the ones that know the truth. And the niggers, not the niggas that know the truth, not the ones that have sense, the dumbass ones who facilitate down this shit and been doing it right here in the United States. Black people, along with white people, doing this bullshit. And you going right down the road with them, rather than stand up for the truth for once in your fucking life. You're probably letting crack babies and crack addicts who are done up by the system rule this time and our aspect of mind frame. No, they don't. I don't follow your religion. I don't follow your shit. And I'm sorry because it's shit to me. You have been driving the minds of the people into these bullshit. Every time they think of doing something, they go to religion. What happened to you? You think the Creator created you to follow a book? You think your Creator created you to manipulate the minds of other people into believing in your book? And then when people say nothing, you get upset and start screaming and shouting like a little child? Which we know we got you. I mean, what are you really doing?